waiting for you, Malek, for such a long time. Like, you're a guest, which is hard to, to find a free time for. So we understand that. We appreciate that you came to us.
No problem. Can't deny I have a pretty busy schedule.
How's your day today?
Just like any other day for a full IB student. Full.
And my dear audience, we will talk about IB with our today's guest, which is Malek. Hello, Malek. Nice to meet you.
Ladies and gentlemen.
If you want to say something to our well-respected audience. Okay, so you wanted to tell us about yesterday's game, right?
Yes, Dmytro. Did you actually get a chance to spectate that?
No, but I'm for sure when I will get the recording, which was made by you, I will watch it. But I didn't watch it live.
Not by me. KS journalism, ladies and gentlemen. So what I have to say about last night's game? Wow. I mean, where do I even begin, ladies and gentlemen?
You have to begin with something.
Let's take a trip down memory lane, right? We are second quarter. The score is somewhere around 30 to 34. KS, the home team, is ahead by 4 points, and it's just the second half. Then let's make a little time lapse a bit further on. It is the fourth quarter, ending minutes, crunch minutes. The score is, if I recall correctly, 46 to 46. Tie game. 20 seconds on the clock. Who takes the ball? Corner 3. Andrei Ivanov, the team sniper. Been hot the whole game. Has shot 2 3-pointers. We expect him to make it. Roman and I, we were commentating up there on the booth. The whole gym fell silent. You couldn't even hear us. We weren't even commentating at that point. We were just watching. We were just gazed. Our look just straight up ahead, enchanted. So Andrei takes a shot. He misses it. And we thought, it's over. This team doesn't have the clutch factor. They'll have to take it to overtime. But guess what happens, Dima?
What happened then?
Vlad happened. Grabs the board. It's an air ball from Andrei Ivanov. Nobody usually expects that from him, but it is what it is. It's an air ball. Vlad, almost like a gift from God. It was like their own little combination, dating all the way from middle school, that chemistry. Vlad catches the ball, puts it back in. There was some contact there, not too much. Wasn't an and one. And the Cossacks have the lead. And that's how they win the game.
So the first question for you, Malek, that we have is that I know that you were a basketball player in KS, and now you kind of switched to another area of interest. Could you please tell our audience the reason why you switched this area and what is this area that you're working in right now?
If I had a penny for every time I was asked about this year, man,
yeah, we're not in a rush.
I'd be able to afford a KFN lunch, I'll tell you that. The reason I'm not playing with my dear Cossacks this year, the reason I can't be a part of that second unit, which Coach Semyuk wanted me to be this year, is because of my gruesome injury. Dating all the way back from 2 years ago, I had a torn ligament. I was playing with me and my boys were playing at the Ostrovskovo, this Ukrainian street court that we usually play on the weekends. It was Vlad. At that time, it was just Vlad and I, Vlad, the game winner, the star. And basically, I was going in air for a rebound, and then I landed on some guy's foot. And then just my ligament torn out of its way. I couldn't walk for like a good month. I had to go to the doctor, 3 stuff, all of that, all the formalities. I was given a 3-month timetable to return. And so I did return 3 months after for last year's season. I played full season. However, I played with pain in my ankle every game. I'll be honest about it now. I kept quiet about it before because I was just trying to focus on my game. I thought there was something wrong with perhaps the work I've been putting. Maybe I haven't been putting enough work. But the more pressure I put on my foot, the more it hurt. And then I realized it's time to pay a visit to the doctor again. And so it was just this summer that I made this 1-year checkup. And he says my ligament haven't been able to heal back properly. So he gave me another 6-month table, which is my return date is set on March when the boys will be full up ahead on Steam, hosting their CISA. However, you know, when the man upstairs closes one door, he opens another one for you. And this door, to me, is commentating. 2 years ago, when I was on JV, I know it's incredible to say, but yeah, at one point I was in JV. Coach Semenyuk asked me to record some games, just for them to watch the footage. That's what they usually want. And what started off as something that was meant to be just film practice, I just started out of the blue. I just started commentating. And I just got carried away. Then I give Coach Semenyuk the footage, and he's like, wow, you really do have a talent for this. And that's what I've been continuing this year. With Ramon being my second host, we made a pretty damn good dynamic on the court, but off the court we're just as strong, arguably. He's also been injured. He'll be returning though. He'll be there for CISA. It'll be my pleasure to commentate on that. But in some way, Dima, I'm still able to be with the Cossacks, if not on court. They have my full support off.
Well, thank you a lot about mentioning the commentary, because my next question will be about that. And if I'm not mistaken, this is your second event this year that you will be commentating on, right?
Second game?
No, the basketball CISA will be the second event, because first event was the middle school girls football tournament, which took place here in Kiev as well. And that's the first time when I actually saw you commentating, and I was absolutely fascinated with that. I really enjoyed working with you, because I was on the commentary team as well, and you just nailed it. And did you take any courses, or is it just like constantly training your skill?
In terms of football, I don't know much of the dynamics. Like, I remember I used to watch football as a kid. I used to put on Football Again all the time, and I just listened. And I also used to play FIFA. What was it, 2002? 2010 on my PSP the whole time.
Well, 2002, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, this is how it was. 2000, so yeah, probably 2010, and I just listened to the commentary on my PSP, and I guess looking back at it, I kind of like managed to learn this all subconsciously. But even that, in terms of football, I still don't know much of the terminologies. So I just go with what I see, tell how I feel like as a spectator. I really don't have much of a filter when I commentate. I mean, I try to, but it's easy to get carried away, and so that makes my editing sometimes harder. But in terms of basketball, I can tell you it's pretty easy for me to commentate, because I've been watching the game for a long time. I've been watching clips, all the analysis, and ever since basically just watching NBA games is what kept me.
So, this year you have chosen a full IB program, and everyone says that it's like very, very difficult. But if you think deeper into that, do you think it's like really more about being difficult or time consuming? What do you think?
I think a lot of it is time consuming, mostly time consuming. And in addition to this time consuming, your time is also consumed by how much you complain, how much you pity yourself, and that all adds up, and it makes this really nasty combination. So that's why every day I try to stay, I guess, as optimistic as I can. It's like coming to a workplace. You see, I have a job to do, and you do it. That's my mindset every day. And as a full IB student, well, it's hard. It's difficult. It's really demanding and challenging, especially having to focus CAS with school stuff and all of this and projects. You really have to do a lot to stay afloat.
And like for sure, you should have like areas in the IB that you're not really interested, but you have to do them, right? You don't have to name them, like we don't.
Math, okay.
Okay, thank you for that anyway. So how do you force yourself to do the work that you're not interested in when there's like so much things that you can spend time on, and there's like too many distractions?
Hey, I just think about the diploma, yeah? I think about what Miss Giri, the IB coordinator, I'm very thankful to her, very thankful to have her honestly helping. She has been like the motor of this whole IB cohort behind us. She has helped us in so many ways. It will really be taking a toll on me just personally, you know, as a person I look up to, her not being the coordinator next year. And she gives a lot of great advice on how to balance. She admits that there are things that sometimes are not as interesting for us. For example, the extended essay, but she makes it seem like something that once you do, you'll feel better about doing it when you look back in hindsight. And it's just the advice I follow. I trust her, and it's been working for me so far.
You mentioned that you are very interested and you want to get this IB diploma. This is your goal. But what is the actual reason? Do you have a path that is connected to getting IB diploma, or what is your detailed plan?
Well, I've kind of runs in the family. I have two older sisters. Both of them graduate KS. One graduated in 2009 and the other one in 2011. Both of them full IB students. Yes, it's dynasty, yeah, indeed. The Banat dynasty is kind of the future has been set for me in terms of that. Both of them have jobs now abroad. My sister, she's a financial advisor in London. She works for Bloomberg, and my second sister, she works in Switzerland, somewhere in the sphere of hospitality. Not.
Well, there is very wealthy countries, say.
Yeah. Well, yeah, job security there has been tough, but the hard work pays off, right?
So basically, IB diploma can get you far. That's the main reason, if to be short.
If I look any courses offered here, this is the furthest that will get me is IB. And I believe it's a very demanding program. I believe that regardless of what they preach, regardless if you agree with it or not, in terms of areas like TOK, which a lot of people find unnecessary, don't believe it's a true sphere of education, not something that should be in a textbook. It's still an opportunity maker. It's still something regarded by universities. It's basically the present.
Mm-hmm. That's true. And you, this year you're the member of Stuco, right? Yeah. Why, again? Like, why did you choose to be a class representative?
Well, there are three letters for it. CAS.
CAS, yeah. Well, I thought people are entering Stuco to change things in school. Isn't it true?
That is a side benefit. That is a side benefit. No comment on that one. However, I am the class representative. My job is to deliver what my grade thinks about events, about Stuco in general, to be the voice of my grade, offer suggestions, be as helpful as I can. I'm not exactly a decision maker. I'm not on the. I'm not even a secretary, treasury vice president. None of those positions. I'm just a rep. However, I still treat it seriously, and with Dmytro Kanishevskyy, this would be the perfect to reveal this. I am thinking of running for Stuco vice president next year.
Vice? Why don't you want to go for president?
Because I want to run along my political mate Roman Narula, who will be running as the president.
Well, he definitely has one vote. Oh, I cannot vote this year. Never mind. Roman, you have to work harder.
We can always hack the elections, okay?
One vote that you wouldn't get anyway. And so is Stuco now, like, what do you feel about it? Is it more like of event organizer, or it actually changes something in school? Like, don't get me wrong, we will be having 3 Stuco members in this set of interviews, and I want to ask like all of them what they think about it.
I understand what you're asking. I see. I agree that generally Stuco is regarded as the event organizers, and that's exactly what they're supposed to do. That's one of their obligations. But they're also are supposed to be student base. It's a student council. It's for the students and with the students. And I believe it's an area that needs work on. And this is something that I will promote in my campaign when I run for vice president. This is something I want to change right now. However, it would be unfair of me to say that the Stuko have not been making significant changes to how things are around in high school, because the month of tolerance is coming up, and we've been working on pretty exciting stuff, like basically not just spreading awareness, but we'll be doing talks, we'll be implementing it in the keeping safe curriculums. We found a lot of loopholes. Like, it's just hard, you know. There's this, it's a tradition started by last year's Stuko, which we want to keep, the month of tolerance. And it's really hard to actually come up with something, because you have this idea like that the focus is gender equality, right? And it's one thing to put a poster, but to actually change something, it requires a lot of thinking. It requires a lot of leadership. My philosophy is to always lead by example, and this is what I want to do next year.
Well, I think you will agree with me on this. To be able to critique something, you should have an alternative plan, alternative decisions. Do you have specific steps that Stuco members can do to make it change? For the things that you think is not working there.
If I understand your question correctly, there has been no honestly opposition towards the Stuco, because Stuco is basically like the student government, and the governing party usually has an opposition, and usually they're always in some type of talks where they have faced questions with others. The Stuco has none of that whatsoever, which I think is a flaw, a fundamental flaw, that the Stuco is not being challenged on its decision, and it's more of you either vote or you don't vote.
But do you think it's more of a problem of Stuco members, or it's just this system doesn't work where suggestions should come to Stuco all the time?
It's the system. It's the system, and it's a system that I do not want to change or hurt in any way, but I want to add on to it. Mm-hmm. So I guess I would be changing in a way, but nothing that I'd take in crop parts of anything. But I believe that student opinion and needs are not as heard as they ideally should be. But the Stuco has been doing a superb job by doing what they do.
I know that you're now running a journalist project, am I right?
Yes, sir.
Can you share with our audience who may not know anything about it, what specifically are you doing and how are you influencing the school life?
So KS journalism has been started as a humble CAS project. It was supposed to be actually for 1 month, where I was basically to report on various after-school activities, and my supervisor, Mr. Conover, he has given us a perfect platform on doing it. It's the KS school website, KS After-School Activities, Sports and Activities, and basically what our job is, and we have a team of 6 people, not counting the photographers, and as journalists, basically everyone in the beginning. Right now, things are changing. There's a new revolution. Why I'll explain as to why. Basically, every person was in charge of say 3 activities, either in high school or middle school, that they were to report on, to make weekly reports. If there was CISA by any interest, we would have to be in contact with the coaches abroad. And what we would do is we would post on Google Plus, and all these Google Plus stream, it would come up on the website when you'd access that activity or something. And we also took interviews, just like we're doing now we took one with Coach Feekins back in before the football boys CISA, before they took 2nd place. I took one with Bo Feekins, the son, also the captain of the team at that time, interim captain. We took an interview with we tried to be diverse as we can. We also took an interview with something that is not exactly an athletic sport, like robotics. We took with Mr. Artyom. I took a video with that. And we have been granted permission to acquire new equipment for KS journalism. However, unfortunately, Google Plus, which has been a very easy platform, it was mostly meant for the parents, not even the students to begin with, but the students, the ones who are interested, actually go on the website. I'm not here, I won't be making any lies. I don't say that the students pay much attention to the website or the Google Plus communities, but if they do, they want to see what we have reported, they look at it. However, Google Plus communities, they will be closing their servers with this spring, so we are moving to Instagram, and we are currently in the process of thinking how can we rebuild this program and platform, because it has taken a big toll on how we share things and kind of stalled our progress. But it is something that will be fixed, I promise, as soon as possible.
Well, that sounds very interesting from what you say. And here's an upcoming CISA. What will be connected to journalism in terms of CISA?
Well, Dima, we are hoping to work with you in this case.
I'm more than welcome.
Basically, we know that we were reporting, like I said, for the parents when the speech and debate happened here in Kiev. There was a live broadcast which has done an amazing job, honestly. This is something I have to admit I wouldn't be able to pull off on my own. Mr. Hume, Yusuf, Dima, Kalina, Max, Moody, all of you, all of the reporters, you have done an incredible job on that event. And in the midst of those things, I was taking part in speech and debate, but I tried to report as soon as I could. It was what my part was, as for KS journalism, is to report the success of the KS students and celebrate their accomplishments. So technically, the only time I could truly report was when Presley Forrest, when she won 3rd place for original oratory. So it was right away on that KS After School Activities website. What I want to do with basketball here, I just want to figure out how to update parents and students itself, and I will be more than happy to be working with the broadcasting team. I will be more than happy to be willing to help with interviews, whatever need be, and of course I'm looking forward to mainly commentating.
And we are once again reminding our parents that all the CISA tournament will be translated on Kozak TV on YouTube. So Malek, you're now doing a lot of commentary, a lot of journalism. Are you actually happy in these areas, or are you a bit upset that you're not the member of basketball team anymore? Like the player, I mean.
Oh yeah, okay, I won't lie about this because I like to be honest when I do interviews. I prefer to be as honest as I can. I am a journalist myself, after all. I understand the priorities of being honest. Especially in this day and age, but it has been taking an emotional toll on me, just not being able to, kind of like an empty feeling inside left after all the games. You're kind of there, but at the same time you're really not. Like when you come in to congratulate, all these guys see you as somebody who, yeah, he used to be there. Of course, there's no love lost really, but you can't deny the connection is as strong as it used to be. It's not really something I'm going through with them per se. It's something that I'm being more of an outsider, as an extra spectator. And so even when I congratulate them, I was like, damn, like I wish I could be a part of this. However, I just try to benefit the team in the best way that I can, which is providing them with footage, with commentary, with support, and promoting the face of Kozak basketball. And I'm just looking for a strong return next year to being a player once again.
So our light's about to go off, which gives me a clue that we have to wrap up soon. So here is your camera, Malek, and now you have an opportunity to wish something or to address the actual team.
Hey boys, this is the year. This is the year we're hosting. This is the year where we have to protect our home ground. this is the year we get that ring.
This was Malek, the journalist of KS.
Thank you, Dima. Always a pleasure. Thank you.
Ooh.